Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to expose the hidden psychological bugs, the bad mental software that is literally keeping us broke. We're pulling direct insights from the front lines of private business acquisitions, behavioral psychology, and even AI to show you exactly how to install the ultimate wealth update. Let's get right into it. Listen, true or false, you are doing everything right. You're buying the S&P 500, dollar cost averaging every single month, following all the traditional financial advice, and yet you still feel like you're getting played. Well, the harsh truth is we've all been sold the kindergarten version of wealth building. Relying exclusively on straight index funds means you are probably missing out on the real money. So today, we're taking a completely contrarian approach.
But before we can look at the math, we really have to look at the mind. For decades, scientists genuinely believed the human body physically could not run a mile in under 4 minutes. Doctors literally said your organs would fail. Then, in 1954, Roger Bannister went out and ran it in 3 minutes and 59 seconds. And what happened next is crazy. Astonishingly, within just 46 days, someone else broke his record. Within a year, 3 more people did it. The barrier wasn't physical at all, right? It was psychological mental software. And our financial limits are exactly the same. We aren't broke because we lack ability. We're held back by flawed mental programming.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the day. First, the great money illusion. Second, your broken money software. Third, installing the wealth update. Fourth, scaling your new OS. And finally, the wealth building challenge.
Section 1. The Great Money Illusion. Why the S&P 500 is playing you. So traditional financial advice tells us to buy the index and just wait for 40 years. And sure, that's a reasonable default, but it's really just the starting line. Frankly, it's an illusion that's slowly shrinking our actual potential. Back in 1996, there were over 8,000 publicly listed companies. Today, that number is cut in half. Companies are staying private way, way longer. So this public market we're all so busy investing in is shrinking and getting wildly concentrated. Literally just 10 stocks control massive portions of the entire index. Meanwhile, there are 25 million private businesses in the US. All that incredible 10x to 100x growth that used to happen after a company went public, now it happens before it goes public, over in the private markets we aren't typically invited to. Think of it this way. The public market is where you protect wealth, but the private market is where you actually build it. Section 2. Your broken money software. The 6 bugs keeping you broke. Now, to access that private wealth, we have to fix the machine that's actually doing the investing, our own brains. We have to patch our psychological flaws. Let's walk through the 6 specific broken money mindsets, or bugs, that keep people stuck. I want you to be really honest with yourself here and see which of these is currently running in the background of your life. Bug number 1, the martyr. What's fascinating about this one is how incredibly noble it sounds. The martyr says, I'm doing this for my family. I just need to grind a little longer. But suffering itself does not make you money. Grind culture tells us that if you aren't bleeding, you aren't trying. But the data shows burnout is financially disastrous. For high earners, burning out just 5 years early costs an average of $300,000 a year in lost potential. The martyr wears their exhaustion like a badge of honor, but the truth is, nobody actually asked them to suffer. Bug number 2 is the speculator. You know this person. The speculator jumps from one big shiny thing to the absolute next. Crypto, NFTs, day trading, whatever meme coin happens to be trending on X today, they're totally addicted to the thrill and they call it being entrepreneurial. But studies actually show the most active retail traders underperform the market by almost 7% per year. The speculator trades movement for progress and just exhausts themselves. Contrast that with the builder. The builder picks boring, real assets and just lets time, patience, and focus do the heavy lifting. At the end of the day, the builder is the one who actually gets rich. Now, if you are recovering from the speculator bug, you probably have what we call a graveyard list of abandoned projects. Unfinished online courses, forgotten crypto wallets, half-built side hustles, we've all been there. The fix for this is to literally write this list down, look hard at the potential you abandoned, and then destroy the list. Moving forward, from today, we must sign a 12-month commitment contract to stick to just one single path. Boring compounds. Shiny does not. Let's look at bugs 3 and 4, the avoider and the hoarder. The avoider just ignores their bank account and credit card debt because actually looking at it causes them physical anxiety. But financial avoidance actually increases your long-term stress and your debt. Ignorance is incredibly expensive. On the complete flip side, we have the hoarder. The hoarder thinks money equals safety, so they save obsessively. But saving safely into a 0.5% account while inflation eats away at 3%, that is literally saving yourself into poverty. Money is a tool. If you leave a brand new tool locked in a toolbox and never ever use it, what's the point?
Finally, bugs 5 and 6. First, the trapped employee. They hate what they do, but they just accept it as life. Doing repetitive tasks you hate every day causes what's called cognitive depletion. Your brain literally has less capacity to learn or build after hours. The fix here isn't to dramatically quit tomorrow. It's to start building a 6-month escape fund today. Then we have the apathetic. This person acts too cool to care about success. They call ambition cringe. But apathy is almost always just a protective mask for a deep, paralyzing fear of failure. Real wealth builders don't act cool, they get obsessed with building.
Section 3. Installing the wealth update. Patching the system with boring businesses and AI.
Okay, now that we've identified the bugs keeping us broke, it's time to actually install the patch. We're moving away from passive index funds and looking at tactical, cash-flowing assets. 99.9%. That is the massive percentage of American businesses that are completely invisible to a standard index fund. Remember those 25 million private businesses we talked about earlier? They aren't all sexy tech unicorns. We're talking landscaping, pest control, plumbing, and HVAC shops. These are incredibly recession-resistant, cash-flowing, utterly boring businesses. They might not print billionaires, but they absolutely mint millionaires every single day. And right now, these boring businesses are colliding head-on with the biggest tech boom in history. Instead of trying to build some flashy AI app that burns $500,000 a month in computing costs, the real data points toward an incredible opportunity in the AI infrastructure play. Think about it. Data centers are massive warehouses running AI. They need intense, specialized HVAC systems. They need commercial plumbing just to stay cool. They need heavy-duty HEPA filter maintenance. By acquiring or starting the unsexy service businesses that maintain these multi-billion-dollar tech facilities, we become the picks and shovels of the AI gold rush.
Section 4. Scaling your new OS. Pulling the business growth levers.
So once you actually acquire one of these cash-flowing private businesses, you have to know how to grow it. Everyone on the internet is going to tell you to just run more Facebook ads, but let's look at the actual growth levers you pull to scale a real business fast. Want to expand margins? Don't just hire more admin staff. Use AI agents to automate customer service. Need to grow revenue? Execute what we call the premium flip. Most small businesses honestly haven't raised their prices in years. Raising prices by just 20% drops straight to the bottom line without you needing a single new customer. Want to scale fast? Execute a rich buyout. Stop buying customers one by one with expensive ads. Go buy a competitor using seller financing and acquire their entire customer list overnight.
And listen, one of the absolutely fastest ways to generate cash in a new business is something called the invisible raise. When a business scales, it inevitably gets bloated. To fix this, sit down and review your last 3 months of expenses. Just star the top 10 costs that don't directly generate revenue. Things like unused software subscriptions, unnecessary office space, bloated marketing budgets. Then, and this is absolutely key, you cut, renegotiate, or replace at least 3 of them this very week. The money you save drops straight into your pocket and dramatically multiplies the overall valuation of your business overnight.
Now, to further expand those margins, we really have to master AI as a productivity assistant. And that all starts with writing highly effective prompts in tools like ChatGPT. It's a surprisingly simple formula. Provide highly specific business context, specify the exact format you want the output in, and just let it work. We can use this to instantly build out standard operating procedures, write perfect customer emails, and entirely slash our administrative time. When we give crystal clear inputs, we essentially create an employee that works 24/7 for a fraction of the cost.
Section 5. The Wealth Building Challenge. Moving from passive to active.
All right, we've covered the mindset, the asset class, and the scaling levers. But look, information without execution is literally just entertainment. So let's lay down a 7-day business challenge to move us from being passive investors to active wealth builders. Here's what you do. Take 30 minutes this week and browse a site like bizcout.com. Filter by your city. I guarantee you will be shocked at what is actually for sale right now. Look for the ugly listings, places with terrible photos, or owners who are clearly ready to retire. Run the basic math. Most small businesses sell for just 2 to 3 times their annual profit. By day 7, your only goal is to simply email or call one owner. You just say, hey, I'm exploring buying businesses in this area. Would you ever consider a conversation? You don't need $1 million check sitting in the bank right now. In this private market, trust and seller financing are the actual currencies that get deals done. We are just building the muscle here.
Which brings us to the ultimate question for you. Which broken mindset are you going to delete today? Are you the martyr, the speculator, the avoider, the hoarder, the trapped employee, or the apathetic? The reality is, we cannot scale a business or buy a life-changing asset until we patch our own operating system first. So stop making excuses, write down the bug that's been holding you back, delete it, and take the 7-day challenge. The real wealth is out there in the private markets just waiting for us. Fix your software, take the challenge, and I will see you on the next explainer.